Charlie alluded to, very difficult because the fog is creating issues. The fog is actually trapping some of that haze, some of the smoke from that fire. And so it makes visibility very difficult in and around those areas. So if you encounter that rapid reduction in that visibility, you will want to use those low beams this morning. And we do have some areas of dense fog, a couple of mornings where the fog could be an issue, could slow you down. I think the problem for the fog is actually going to be more on Friday as the winds start to calm. Now heading into Saturday, you'll notice we've got an ABC 13 weather watch based on the latest model data this morning. I want to build your awareness that some of those plans on Saturday, especially Saturday evening, could be disruptive by a line of heavy rain and thunderstorms. And some of these thunderstorms could be on the strong or even severe side. So just a heads up, an ABC 13 weather watch heading into Saturday evening. Meanwhile, out the door this morning, as we mentioned, we've got some fog to slow you down. Some of that fog, a lot of that visibility, those issues are mainly along our coastal communities. So it's that sea fog making machine. We're seeing that warmer air moving over the cooler shelf waters. And so we've got dense fog down toward Brazoria, Galveston County right now. But some of that fog may be forming right around Galveston Bay and spreading inland. So we've got several counties under a dense fog advisory. It may not be as foggy this morning in some spots, but that could change over the course of the morning. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Otherwise, for today, mostly dry sky. A mix of sun and clouds. There'll be some pockets of sunshine here and there. That sunshine today does warm temperature readings from the 40s and 50s this morning. It is a little bit of a cooler start to temperature readings this afternoon, close to hitting 80 degrees. Now I'm going to walk you through the timing based on what we're seeing in the model data this morning. Of course, it could still change between now and Saturday, but I do want to walk you through that timing of thunderstorms coming up in just a few minutes. All right, hours possible, especially along our coastal communities later on this afternoon. Otherwise, most of your day on Friday should be dry. Rain chances will be ramping up overnight Friday and into Saturday. We've had increased that chance for seeing some showers and thunderstorms on Saturday night, unfortunately. So some of those plans will be in jeopardy. Hopefully you've got a plan B in mind to raise that awareness that some of those thunderstorms could be disruptive, but also on the severe side. I've issued an ABC 13 weather watch. So we're going to be watching this very closely for you. Sunday into Monday, it's looking mostly dry with also some breezy, slightly cooler conditions. A nice big drop in the humidity as well come Sunday. But this is the storm system that's eventually going to drive a cold front in our direction. Now that frontal boundary out ahead of it, we'll start to see a line of showers and thunderstorms forming Friday evening out toward West Texas. So until then, it's just some clouds with maybe a sporadic shower or two between today and during the day, as I mentioned, on Friday. As we head into the overnight hours, we'll slowly start to increase those rain chances, in particularly through the early afternoon hours. There could be some individual cells, individual thunderstorms that form, especially north of Interstate 10, where the dynamics, the lifting mechanism could be slightly higher, and that could pose the threat for some strong wind gusts, maybe even some hail to form with some of those thunderstorms. But the main line should hold off until we get into the evening hours. And this has been a model trend that we've been talking about the last couple of days. Now, if you remember on Monday, a lot of this moisture was going to be pushing out into Louisiana by 6, 7 o'clock into the evening. And then we slowly started to see those models start to trend later. And as of today, it is still going to be an evening event where 7, 8 p.m. or so, it should be right on top of the Houston area, all the way down toward the coastline. And when you see that changing color from the light green and yellows to an orange and red, that's indicative of an intensifying line of rain and thunderstorms. And these are the type of thunderstorms that could cause some ponding on the road, some isolated street flooding, but also, obviously, as I mentioned, some strong to severe thunderstorms a possibility. And then that severe weather threat, it quickly ends once that line pushes eastward. So by 10 o'clock, the majority of us on the backside of that line will be looking at some rapid clearing and also an increase in those winds. And by Sunday, we get some of those wraparound clouds, some lingering moisture, but really nothing falling from those clouds at that point. Severe weather threat, a level 1 out of 5. So we're on the lowest end, meaning that the ingredients will be favorable for an isolated severe thunderstorm. But again, it's not going to be anything widespread. And all 3 storm hazards are on the table. We could be dealing with some damaging winds, maybe even some hail, and an isolated brief tornado can't be ruled out as well. As far as any flooding concerns, I think the highest rainfall totals are really going to be just outside of our state, up toward the north and east, but there will be those half-inch to inch pockets. And with any slow-moving thunderstorms, obviously that could pose a threat for some street flooding, but no widespread flooding. And we need the rain. You can see that the drought intensity graphic is showing some severe to extreme drought out toward our western parts of our viewing area, and then a couple of counties here with extreme drought. We'll get an update coming up here later on this morning, so we'll have that for you. But unfortunately, with the lack of rain the last couple of weeks, we're not going to see any improvements there. 50s out the door, a little bit of cooling. Unfortunately, we do have some fog that could slow you down, and that visibility definitely compromised along the coastline, where some of the worst fog is being detected. Less than a mile visibility there, but also a quarter of a mile out toward Liberty and Beaumont. And we'll be watching as most of that fog will be lifting out, with the exception of some of our coastal communities where some of that fog could linger well into the afternoon and during the evening. Some of that fog will be widespread by Friday morning. Quick look at temperatures. I mentioned the cool down, upper 40s right now in Brenham, 49 in Navasota. We'll be staying in the 50s, at least in Katy and Houston, with afternoon temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. It will be another mild start to the morning on Friday, and then perhaps temperatures warming into the upper 70s. That main line pushing through the area is going to deliver a drop in humidity on Sunday. Look at the temperature readings by Monday morning, back down into the upper 40s, but then we will start to see some warmer conditions develop beyond Tuesday and Wednesday. Those temperature readings will be back up in the low 80s, ladies.
All right, Elita,